Welcome back to the X Podcast, and today is a really special day because it is our 200th episode. Can you believe it? Woo. So we decided we'd do a few really special things. Number one, we are giving a $100 gift card to every first comment of the person on YouTube. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. I'm so sorry.
Let him do it.
You could have. If you hear that wonderful voice on the other side, it is because for 4 years now, we have wanted to bring Oz from behind the curtain onto, or at least behind the table. And that is Lydia. Lydia is our wonderful producer of the X Podcast, and every time you hear us obnoxiously say, Lydia, can you fact check that? Lydia, can you let us know if that's true? Lydia, is it on? That is her. She's amazing. Her family's been part of the church for years. She leads in worship on Sundays, does 1,000 things behind the scenes. Social media.
Posts all these, edits them, posts them.
So if you've appreciated this podcast, these last, 4 years, which is nuts. Thanks for being a part of the journey. Number one, it's been 4 years. We started this in 2020, which we'll get to that.
I guess 50 episodes per
We're honestly
week,
not 100% sure what we're going to talk about, but we're going to find our way through. But we wanted to bring Lydia on, so show her some love on social media and in the comments. Let her know how much you appreciate her. We really kind of had to drag her onto this, to be honest. She is not outrageously loud and extroverted by nature. So
you need to put that mic down a little bit so that it's pointed at your mouth. There you go.
In lieu of that,
you know how to do mics.
Yeah.
You know, in lieu of maybe slight introversion, why don't you talk just for a while?
Oh,
and
for how long?
and
what do you want me to talk about?
Tell us, give your your LinkedIn bio to anybody watching that doesn't really know you.
I work here at X Church. I've been part of this church since like 2013. Me and my family. I'm on staff for like social media, and I'm like the project manager as well, which is awesome, fun to do. Definitely not something I thought I could do, but I'm learning a lot of fun things and doing the podcast, which is since like I started interning, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, she's been part of doing this since we started.
It's crazy.
She was an intern then.
I think like the first episode, I wasn't there for the first one, but I remember like a few episodes after that, they were like, "You guys,
we're like, Lydia's here. We need somebody to help us. Lydia,
do you want to help?"
And that was probably more of a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Do you want to help? I mean,
we
need you to help.
I didn't mind.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. And okay, so a few things. One, we have a live audience here making crazy amount of noise.
Yeah, of
no,
one.
We don't.
We have one. But we wanted, who feels probably mildly pressured to be here. But we wanted to bring a couple things back. One, this is just a little trivia for anybody that has been watching X Podcast for any length of time. Our first couple episodes were broadcast live. That was the original idea. That lasted, I think, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks that we did it live. Like, we went on, was it just YouTube? Was it YouTube
Facebook.
Live?
Yeah, and Facebook.
Oh, it might
Yeah.
have been Facebook.
We had people like Mon it.
We had Facebook, and we were like, wait, this is too much.
Yeah. But that Christmas, I think it's like Christmas or end of the year, we did a couple things. One, we had a live audience.
Yeah.
So we have a version of that today. Yeah. And then we did a Hot Ones episode to end 2020. And so Lydia was like, why don't we bring back the Hot Ones for episode 200? So I kind of love
that's a hot episode.
It is a hot episode. And so you were giving us very meticulous instructions. Do you want to kick us off?
Okay, what we have there's 4 different heat levels.
Oh, no.
At Buffalo Wild Wings, which is very local to us, so that's why we grabbed it. And so these first 2 are on the low end. They're in the mild end. So we have mild and a honey barbecue.
I'll do those.
Ooh.
No, that's not the game.
Okay.
That's not the game. Then the next level up is medium, which is this one that we got a flavor. It is called Buffalo Bacon.
Okay.
That was in the medium. It's a new flavor, by the way. Then we have 2 more after that are considered the hot level.
Okay.
And those are hot barbecue and mango habanero.
Okay.
And then the box that I put strategically closest to you,
Oh, okay.
because that's your box,
No.
is their fourth and hottest heat zone is called Wild, and that's flavor Wild. So
Okay.
it's their second hottest because Blazing is just brutal,
So-
and it's just not fair.
Well, then let's just do this, Lydia. If you don't mind, since you're in the middle.
You can start at that end.
No. Would you give us
So,
each?
yeah.
Let's
So
start
here's
with,
the idea. The idea is that we each have to do at least one of each level.
Yes. Okay.
So
Oh,
you
dear
can
God.
choose from
Like a whole
mild. Yeah, you got to eat the whole thing. You can choose from a mild, which is going to be a buffalo sauce. That's supposed to be at that level, or a honey barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
which is my favorite.
Can I just tell you?
And they're going to be messy.
We'll start
I'll
with.
just
I'll
do
start.
this
Yeah,
one.
that one's good.
Now, you can do more than one of each, but you have to do at least one of each level.
Okay. Can I just tell you how not hungry I am? Before we recorded a podcast before this,
I'm not either.
Pastor Zach and I went to Chick-fil-A. I didn't know we were going to have hot ones.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes, we went to Reynoldsburg. And I got a 12 count of nuggets because I'm trying to eat lean. But I didn't realize when he ordered that he also got a 12 pack. So I got both packs and started diving in. I'm like, man, I think they put 12 in each pack. And sure enough, it wasn't until about an hour ago. He goes, yeah. I was like, man, I'm full. I'm pretty sure I ate 24 nuggets. And he goes, yeah, I didn't want to say anything. I felt bad, but you just started diving in. One of those was mine. I said,
So you ate his lunch?
Well,
How rude.
he also got some other stuff, you know.
That's rude.
Okay.
No, it sounds like you ate all of his lunch.
So
All right, you need to eat.
I need to eat, but okay, while I do that, I'll let y'all begin answering questions.
Oh.
I posted on Instagram last night inviting people to ask questions for our 200th episode. We got about 3,000 responses.
That's
Oh,
not
wow.
true.
If
3,000?
you remove the 3 zeros, we got 3.
You got-
And one of them was Jay Randall asking if me and you were related. I feel like we've cleared that up, Pastor
feel like
Tim.
we've
but-
I
answered
don't
that.
know.
We
I
are
think
not.
That's
like
a
we've answered
conspiracy
that.
Theory.
I had somebody else ask me about that recently, whether or not we're related.
Who
So,
was it?
I don't remember. It was somebody at the church just asked me the other day. It's like, are you guys related?
I got
I
2
said-
more questions,
I said he
and then
wishes.
our audience member is going to be thinking of some questions. Oh, she read my mind. ESP.
No.
I
We do not
love
need
it.
I thought we have some other questions.
Alana,
too.
you're amazing. We think way too
There's
much
also
alike.
carrots and ranch to help cut the.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even like traditional wings. Like I always just get boneless.
I know, but I figured if we were doing wing challenge, we had to do
It
traditional
has to be
wings.
authentic.
Hey, you can't.
What?
One of them, not the mild though.
What?
We say that you have to at least do one wing without any ranch to cut it,
Okay, I'll do
and
that.
then you can do one with.
So you did that one?
Well, I didn't know there was a rule about the ranch. How many ranch rules are there? Okay. The second question that was sent in was about Taylor Swift. I'm gonna let you run with this.
Whoa,
Uh,
not me. We'll let Lydia
my
go
gosh.
first
Okay. Okay.
No,
So this person just wanted to know,
before we get to level 2.
wanted us to riff on, I don't know, the cult-like obsession, kind of worship of Taylor Swift. Is it dangerous? What we think about it? All that kind of stuff. You have any strong opinions?
I think that
And
makes
sing your
sense.
favorite Taylor Swift song.
I don't like. I mean, I like Taylor Swift. I do know a lot of her songs. I will say, the recent album I didn't really listen to, but I know you have strong opinions about that one too because I remember you said
Her
that.
recent album? Oh, I
Yeah.
can tell you. I already said something about it here.
Yeah, you did.
So.
That was hilarious. I
Even
will.
though it's
I mean,
awesome.
I don't think it's healthy to worship someone like that and like definitely idolize someone for
Yeah.
So-
everything.
So who's your favorite idol then?
Jesus.
Oh, good answer.
Okay. Well, should he
Fake
be an
answer.
idol?
Maybe not an idol.
Not an idol.
Okay. Alana, are you a Taylor Swift fan? There you
Okay.
go.
Well,
Smart answer.
Yes.
Why is that a smart answer?
Smart answer. She's just
So
a
you're
wise
Taylor
person.
Swift
So
fan?
you're okay with all the idol worship happening at Taylor
I'm
Swift
not, but I do like
concerts?
Well, I wasn't aware that they brought in Baal or a Brahmin bull
No,
or
it's
anything.
her.
Okay. Okay.
She is
Did you see all
the
the-
Antichrist.
See all the screaming and the weeping and the bowing down,
I've
and,
I've not seen this.
giving money to and sacrificing your firstborn and all that stuff. You haven't seen any of
What's
that?
your-
going
No,
on?
So, like,
I don't.
what's your
I think
favorite
part of what you're
song?
saying is not real.
What's your favorite song?
Off the new album.
Do you like that? You like that one?
I like the new
Oh,
album.
it's terrible.
I like it.
I feel tortured when I.
Oh, you you mispronounced terrific.
Oh.
It's a Black Dog, Down Bad,
just say-
Can you
manuscript.
sing it?
Did you say Black Dog?
That's one of them.
Is that a song? Mm-hmm. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can sing one of them, and you just sing them all
Oh,
because they all
Sing one of
sound
them.
exactly the same.
Not true. Okay, we're gonna go down to
Because musically they're awful.
Okay, Alana. Okay, listen. I'm gonna get to that one in a minute, but we have one last one that I want to read. It is from.
Wait. Before we do that, 'cause
Yes.
I don't know how long this episode is going to be.
All right, well,
Should
let's
we
go
move
to
on
let's go to the
hold on,
next one.
No, the next one is this one box right here.
So we
This
we
is a
only have that
medium.
option.
Well, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you can eat as many as you want, but you have to do at least one in each. This is called
Okay.
Buffalo Bacon. It is a new sauce.
Oh wow. Okay.
That sounds good.
If you want to dip it in ranch, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay. By the way, can I just say this again, as everybody's maybe, or some people may be meeting Lydia for the first time. Amazing family. She's had a family member on before, Stu, if you remember,
Yeah,
the
he-
attractive pirate.
Yeah,
He's
who is
not
that?
related to me, but
Yeah, that's
you
pretty
did
funny.
think he was.
So
and
he's
I-
not a family
I think that
member.
But sort of.
He is though.
In
He
the
is
same
part of
in the
our
same family system.
You got to take
Yeah,
at least a bite without
absolutely.
any ranch. I don't want you cutting all the
Okay.
heat.
Where?
They're that
Stop.
pirate family.
The pirate family.
That has a little bit of heat to it. Not a
And which,
lot,
and
but I
which
feel
by
it.
the way, I told her they're the sweetest. I completely forgot because I think I thought it was Friday, but yesterday was actually my 6-year anniversary of working here. I forgot. I'm pretty sure heaven forgot, but her family, Sophia, Elizabeth, and Stu, all sent me the sweetest messages this morning.
Oh, I didn't
we
even do that.
No, yeah, you don't care. They said, they said, is today your 6-year anniversary? We literally had it on our calendar. Have you taken time to celebrate and reflect? And I'm like, I love y'all. I've not even thought about it, but other than like Thursday, I was like, okay, I know it's the general vicinity I posted, but it was the sweetest sex in the world. Your family's amazing.
I love them.
They're just
They're
the
best.
greatest.
Even though they're not her family.
You know what I'm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that flavor.
That's good.
That's a good flavor. And you dipped it again.
Okay, it's just by instinct.
Just
So
put the
I
ranch
say
up from here
you
on out.
Literally could not.
No
do
ranch.
it for
No
anything.
ranch for the hot ones. You can't dip it. You can do the second wing in ranch. You gotta.
I'm gonna pray about this. Okay. Okay.
That's the whole point of this.
Okay. Another question, real quick. We have one in from a guy named Hayden Messer.
Who's
that?
I don't.
I don't know who that is.
Who's Hayden Messer?
Wait, Lydia, do you know who Hayden Messer is?
yeah, have you ever-
Maybe.
Yeah. Who is he? This is real, by the way.
He really
I'm not
did-
making that up.
He did.
Aw.
He was one of the
Who
3,000.
is he?
That, you tell me.
You can tell me that.
Is today time for a, like, for a? I don't know. Is there anything you want to say or?
You want to go public?
Yeah, that's my boyfriend.
Whoa! Hard launch Friday.
Okay.
Wow.
Man, okay.
I
This is
love that you did that.
I love that you did that. I love that you embarrassed her and made her.
I did not make you do anything. You're a strong, independent woman. I just asked you a question.
Like, okay. I can't. I guess.
So
that's
Hayden's
true.
her
Okay,
boyfriend.
but
and
to
we-
put it back on me, do you want to tell the story about the stupid thing I did last Christmas?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know which
You-
one? Is that what you said?
I mean,
What did I do? I'm trying to remember.
do you not remember?
What? Tell it.
Well, and it was like January, like the beginning of the year. They're tearing down for Christmas. Pastor Russ was there, Hayden was there, and then you like screamed across the room and said, "What did you say?" You
No,
said,
no, I didn't. I thought Hayden was somebody else.
oh,
And so I felt bad because that somebody else was getting ready to get married, was engaged, and their like wedding was soon. And I was
Oh.
like, oh, I feel like a jerk. I've not said anything to them. I want to go encourage them. And so I went over and I said, hey man, you pumped for the wedding? And he just looked at me and goes, I'm sorry. And I said, are you excited for the wedding? He goes, what do you mean? And I said, I don't know. and then like I was going towards like the U-Haul, so I was like, I don't know, man. It's good to see you.
And then you just walked away? Oh my God.
And then
Yeah.
later on, yeah.
that was a great interaction. He texted me about that earlier because I wasn't in town, and I was like, "What do you mean?" He said that. I don't know what he means.
Hayden's the best though, and Hayden watches every Friday. So shout out to
Yeah, he
Hayden. You're amazing, and you two are just awesome. But he did seriously ask a question, and if you want to pass out our third.
Okay.
This one?
There's
Yep.
hot barbecue or mango habanero.
I'll
I want to do mango habanero.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
we
do
need
that
that.
too.
Sounds
Really?
that sounds bad.
I feel I have heard that this one's
Bad.
yeah.
Woo.
So maybe you guys should.
Oh, my hand's burned just
I'll
picking
be
it
a
up.
little different. Go to the other one.
Okay.
You do that one too.
PTL.
You should do one of it. Whoa. Oh, I just licked my fingers. It's pretty hot.
I'll let you.
You should do both of those.
I'll let you answer this one.
Oh, I don't know if I
Hayden
can.
just put creation of the podcast, how and why it started, early concepts and vision. Oh,
my
is that
gosh.
a little hot?
Dude, I did not even take a full bite. The hango, I can't even say it. The mango habaneros got some kick to it.
That's that's a little. Yeah.
Now I
got-
kind of want to try it. Like a.
You have to
little
try
piece.
it. You've got to try it. Don't eat that one. Eat one of those. Okay. And it's probably going to be a little fresher than that one, so it's going to have a little. Okay, what was the question again? I didn't even take a full bite, and I licked my fingers, and it was.
Creation
So
of the
the
podcast,
creation of the podcast-
how and why it started, early concepts and vision, et cetera.
So it started during 2020, right? When we started it, we were in the new building. So it had to have been late fall 2020. 'Cause we were in the new building. So it had to have been almost at the beginning of this being here, because we didn't move in here till October.
a little hot,
right?
huh?
What are you thinking?
A little hot,
But
Lydia.
that sucker's got some heat. You got to finish it, too.
But, like, I like the sweetness.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
do, too.
This is
So late
plum.
2020, so it's been almost 4 years. 200th episode. How are you feeling?
Sinuses
and,
are cleared.
I'm a little nervous about this one. But we started this podcast. It was a crazy year. Some of it was we wanted to have another platform to be able to have critical conversations about stuff that everyone was facing in life and in culture that we knew were not always the appropriate venue was on Sunday mornings.
Yes.
That we wanted to be able to sometimes sit down and in conversation hash out different things and to think critically. And our biggest thing was, and when we first started, was we wanted to help elevate people's thinking to a higher critical level. Like, how do we not just take what somebody tells you and that's what it is, but to think about it. Let's break it apart. Let's tear down this idea. Let's nuance it a little bit. So that was initially part of it. The same time, we wanted to be able to have conversations about things that we might disagree on, but do it agreeably.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to kind of set the tone. We felt like in a very volatile environment, because I think we were leading up to that presidential election, all this. We
Yeah.
wanted to set the tone of how do we have conversations about these kind of matters without it becoming personal, without it becoming vindictive, without it being as ugly as what we see in social
Yeah.
media. And so how do we disagree agreeably and all those. And so that was kind of my initial, I don't know if there's anything
No,
to
it's
add
great,
to it. I'm
and-
going to suffer with this
And
one.
man,
Go ahead.
wow, my mouth's on fire. Whew. I think what you said was great. Yeah, that's it. I think one of the things too, I don't know if you remember this, but one of the things too that
Yep.
was more of an unintended consequence was 2020 was a very isolated, lonely time. We had just gone back in person, and there were some podcasts we listened to that made us feel less alone. Not only when it came to nuanced thought, but just in the conversational tone. And so a lot of people actually, in a weird way, it's not a replacement for actual flesh and blood community, but it made one of the most beautiful things. A lot of people said it made them feel less alone. Number one. Number two, we're not compared to like a mega church in the South, a mega church, but we are a large church. And one of the cool things, I don't think this was on our radar when we started. Did you just
I
choke?
just tried to drink water with the lid of the
Okay.
cap on. Sorry,
Okay.
I was a little disoriented.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking clearly.
Can we have that as a reel? Can we clip
No.
that as a
No.
reel? Mm.
I already, yeah,
Okay.
it's already happening.
Is,
We need to do the hot barbecue one. You were doing it. I think we need to hit that one too before we go to
Actually, I
wild.
like this.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do one.
We have to do hot barbecue.
So,
Share love.
and then another thing for us is like, there's a weird place where people can put, pastors, people that work at a church on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And so one of the cool things, this wasn't why we did it, because I feel like that'd be narcissistic, but there are people that were like, oh, like, I actually feel like this, let's get to know you. It humanized you.
Yes.
People that,
I think that was a byproduct
yeah.
of it. Was that I think some of it is to that point. I think that's a good point. Is that sometimes when even I preach, people make a lot of assumptions based on one sentence or one line. We've had people make all kinds of assumptions. We've had people call in and assume that you were a Republican. It's just a crazy assumption. We've had people. Sorry. We've had people just like make all kinds of assumptions that, oh, you must believe that. You must that. And then we would come and sit down and have Because I remember we used the podcast even for follow-up for the really intense series of It's Complicated. And, you know, and people would take one little thing you say that, and they would just infer, oh, you must be that. You believe this. And this was a time when it was very polarizing.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't agree with me 100%, then we can't be in community together. We can't be friends. We can't be this. And it's like, that's not true. And if you actually got a chance to hear my heart and how I process this, you might, I'm not saying it's going to change your mind, but it might change your mind about how I'm viewing it, you know? And so I think that is one of the benefits, is that people it did humanize us, and people got to understand, oh, we wrestle with these on a pretty deep level, and we're not just espousing whatever you expect, the rhetoric you expect me to say.
You know, we try to incorporate this into preaching, but at the end of the day, people aren't changed nearly as much by answers as they are by engaging the process. And so, like, whether in sermon series stuff, like when we were able to do It's Complicated, we were able to actually walk through the process of our own wrestling. But then also maybe even kind of like on a, not selfish, but on an indulgence, like for us, but also with the goal of helping other people think, it's kind of like this is our giving ourselves permission to roam. Because on a Sunday morning, whereas we all, I mean, I feel like we're extremely relevant for the topics that we bring and the angles from which we approach things. So that's the goal. But still, the goal on a Sunday morning is a sacred space to open up Scripture. This is a conversation where we can talk about life.
Around the table.
And obviously, like, our faith in Jesus informs how we think and all those kind of things. But it's permission to say, no, we can talk about all kind of things. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just listening and embracing everything you're saying while my lips are on fire.
Okay.
And we haven't even gotten to wild.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about this.
I didn't like the barbecue one near as much as the mango habanero. Alana, do you want to come and try some of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll
PT,
throw it on
we
you.
have some questions that have been sent in. Okay, so I got a question for you. Okay. Why? This is from Alana. Why should anyone go to the gym? It seems awful.
I'll let Lydia answer that first.
Me? Okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Right now, I'm not like consistent in going to the gym, and
Okay.
I don't have that rhythm in my life. I want that rhythm in my life, but I don't think it's bad.
No.
I don't have a strong like.
Okay.
Lydia,
You
what? Okay, you know what? What do you like? What are your hobbies? What do you do for fun outside of work? Which, by the way, you didn't mention this, but I think this is really cool. You know, on your own, you're also pursuing further education. You're at Bethel School of Worship. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Well, it's BSM.
Okay.
Bethel School.
Ministry.
Yeah.
That's school industry.
Yeah, I do that online. So that's kind of like.
Wait, what does that have to do with the gym?
I
You just
mean,
wanted to.
I just,
yeah,
you know,
I know.
Lydia's
Since she doesn't go to
here.
the gym, maybe what does she do?
Well, no, I just,
Is
you
that
know,
what you're
Lydia's here, so I just,
How rude he is.
I want the audience to get to know her because
Okay.
she's so wonderful.
Thanks.
And whether or not you go to the gym, it doesn't define a human being, Pastor
absolutely.
Tim.
I didn't say that. What are you
No,
What
talking
you're
about?
implying?
Alana doesn't go to the gym.
What's going on?
Yeah, but she pickleballs
in
enough.
And she's probably in better.
Alana's my
better-
pickleball partner.
She's in better shape than any of us.
Yeah.
True.
How does that work?
Pickleball.
Genetics or pickleball?
Genetics.
Oh, she does not. Okay, she says move on. Okay, so
You have to
Lydia,
come up and have a wild wing.
you want a wild wing?
Please.
You will die. We're gonna die.
What about
That's,
like
we die together?
Like the first one.
Okay, come on up.
The first.
Or
one.
you're getting ready to meet Alana if you're watching this on YouTube. Okay, so what all do you
Did you
do
say
YouTube?
on your own time?
Because I don't go to the gym, what I do in my free time is school online. I am learning guitar and piano.
Ooh, nice.
Fun.
Incredible singer. This is Alana Bradley.
Alana.
Go ahead.
She wants a wild one.
You want this
You know
one?
wild one?
Has anyone even had it yet?
No,
Nope.
we're getting ready to. You can
This
join
is
us.
for you.
We'll do it with you.
Okay.
Yes.
We're all, let's okay. Let's get the box out. Let's hand them out. This is wild. It is the second hottest wing that Buffalo Wild Wings has.
We gotta
Ooh,
celebrate-
At least it's kind of dry, and not the sauce isn't wet, which is good. That's going to be helpful.
I'm kind of concerned about this.
I've had these before. Actually, I've eaten.
This one?
I've ordered them before and actually eaten 6 at a time.
I don't.
They're still. I don't enjoy it.
Okay, do you want to answer Alana's question? Why do you go to the
Okay.
gym if it seems awful?
Okay.
Yeah,
Number one, it's an addiction.
a healthy one, huh?
A healthy one, but it's an addiction. Number two, I feel the absolute best that I feel all week when I finish at the gym. So the endorphins, all the stuff that just, blah, 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 you know what I mean,
Yeah.
just gets going. Your cortisol levels, or you know, whatever they are. But it's just, I feel great. Honestly, big reason I would do it for many, many years is so I can eat. Do some cardio, do some weightlifting.
Yeah.
But I just got into it when I was probably about 17 years old and been doing it ever since. And I try to go at least 3, if not 4 times a week, and just try to stay in shape. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Let's go, everybody.
Okay.
Dive in.
I'll go
Wild.
after I try to speak. I would say a lot of the reasons you said.
Not bad.
I mean, also like,
Good flavor.
well, there's so many studies that talk
think
about
the
how
heat
good it
shoots
is
up
for
a bit,
you. It's really, really good. For your bone density, for your muscles. It's actually really good at preventing like Alzheimer's. Like actually, resistance training is the best kind of exercise. Actually, for neurologically,
another
for
one.
everything going on in your brain, your mind. Like he said, it is the endorphins. Like honestly, it is the thing I look forward to after work. It's like an outlet. So I feel like I need like a healthy outlet. And so going to the gym after work each day is like just a great outlet. I also have community there now. So it's like a great source of community. Like Tommy and different people are there.
That wasn't very
You know, for the longest time growing up, maybe it's not as much now, but
Eat the mango habanero.
okay, there's
That
a
wasn't very hot. Sorry, go ahead.
there's a vain sense in which also I'm the only single person at this table. So I'm like, I've got to like try to at least
Really?
stay in somewhat shape.
I think Lydia's married.
Well, okay.
Taken, but not married.
Well, okay. Well, you know what I mean. Okay, yeah. I'm the only, well, okay, I guess I'm not the only unmarried person at this table.
So what you're saying is you go there to find women.
No, I did not say that at all.
my
No. I'm just saying, and I'm saying that's not as much but I think for the longest time, that was probably a greater percentage of my motivation. Honestly, now, I used to think people were full of it when they said this. My number one reason that like I go to the gym every day is I can feel the mental health effects. Like I can feel it. Like if I've not been in a couple days, and especially if I'm eating bad on top of it, like my mood, my clarity, my mental health is just not strong. That's probably the number one reason.
The
We're
wild
full.
were not hot. I ate 2 of them. Not a big deal.
Really?
I think the mango habanero was just as hot. What do you think? The mango habanero?
Yeah.
I agree. I think it was hotter.
I feel like that someone messed
Have
up.
another one.
I should have another one.
Whatever. Yeah. Enjoy all the hot wings. Let's just finish them off. I had 2 wild. They were not bad at all.
Let me be honest. This one is good.
You like the hot barbecue? Eat.
This one.
It was good. Good flavor, but hot. Is that what you just had? Or did you have hot barbecue? No, you should try one of those.
This one.
Try one of those. Save one of those for Alana. So, what do you think about the wild? Do you think they're hot?
not
Maybe
that
our
bad.
mouth is just so adapted to the other ones,
I
but
just think I'm strong.
I don't think
know?
that's what it is.
No, I don't think it's that bad.
I really don't. I like the flavor of the wild. I've ordered them before. I just forgot. It's been a long time. I
You've
would encourage you to
answered
get
this
wild.
before, but Alana also asked, and we'll start with you, actually, Lydia. Do you believe in aliens?
I'm not really that invested in aliens.
Okay. I didn't ask if you spend a lot of money on them,
Invested in them?
but do you believe in them? You don't have to marry one, but do you believe in aliens? They exist.
I don't know. Probably.
Okay. You sound committed. PT?
Why don't you answer it first?
This is getting a little bit hotter.
Is it catching up? You got to eat a second one.
Okay. Alana, would you like to sit here? Okay. A second one, right? Like this one?
No.
Okay.
Did you get a mango habanero? Is it good?
I think this is the spiciest.
I do too.
Okay.
Eat another wild and tell me, because I really didn't think it were very hot.
Okay. PT, out of the ex-church staff, this is also from Alana. Who would you write in for the presidential election? That's a
Ooh.
good one.
Who did that?
Wait, I didn't get to answer the alien one,
Okay. Okay.
and you didn't answer it.
Yeah, why didn't you guys answer it?
Is that not a real question? Did you just make it up?
I feel like no, she said that.
Okay.
I feel like we've talked about it before, but
Yeah, I don't believe in it. I don't believe aliens exist because we have no proof of it whatsoever. And here's I'll give you the scientific reason why I don't believe it. We have not found any type of exoplanets that exist out there close enough to us that even if they could support life in the carbon world that we imagine life to be made out of carbon primarily, none that are even close enough to it. Close enough. Look at the wings getting me. They're not even close enough to us that we would never hear from them, see from them, even if they left right now and headed this way. The distance is so great. You just can't move at a speed fast enough. So even if they do exist, which I don't think they are, because we haven't found any planets that even are remotely close to the way our planet is designed in the universe. We've not found any kind of spot in any galaxy that can support a planet like ours with all the unique attributes it has to support life. Don't exist out there. So I personally don't think so.
What about Bigfoot?
I would say if there's a Bigfoot, it's here. It's not alien because it's like terrestrial. It's not extraterrestrial. It's here. There's Bigfoot. There could be Bigfoot. Define believe in. As in what way?
Does Bigfoot exist?
Like
do you think?
Like, is there a Sasquatch type of creature that is out there?
Yeah.
That to me would be more possible than alien, or should I say extraterrestrial life.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
I think an alien would be more likely.
Really?
Bigfoot. Mm-hmm.
What if Bigfoot was an alien, though?
I don't. But that's fine. No one can prove.
There's a lot of things we can't prove.
I can't prove you to be right. So far, I have been proven right. Because we have no evidence of it.
A lot of scientists would disagree with that.
No.
And a lot of researchers. And our very own U.S. government would disagree with that.
No.
Yes.
No.
Our U.S. government disagrees with you.
Really?
Yes.
Because after they just did the hearings, they came out and said, so if you want to say our U.S. government, their final report was, we do not find any indication based on those things to support the idea of that we have extraterrestrial life here.
Yeah, and there have been things released since then.
Okay.
So I'm not a conspiracy
theorist. I'm going
theorist.
by the official, what they released. I'm not saying it's accurate. I'm just saying that's what was released.
I think there's been far too many, in the same way that, like, there's all these, they talk about, G.K. Chesterton talks about all the myths that are universal across tribes that point to a universal truth. I think there are way too many sightings and coincidences and things people have experienced and phenomenon to where there couldn't be something. And I think all of our science that we understand is relegated to what we understand on this one small tiny planet. Mm-hmm. So what life, quote unquote, life could look like on another planet could be vastly different, number one. Number two, if they are an advanced species, then travel would not be a hindrance for them to come near us, depending on what kind of light speed they're able to travel at. Number three,
actually, that's not true. And I don't care how advanced they are, there are laws that govern our universe that they have to abide by.
Well, there are, depending if there are.
You know what happens if you travel at light speed? It's not good. You can't survive.
Well, if a human, you're saying a human being can't survive. You don't know what an alien can survive.
I'm saying matter that is living is going to have a really hard time staying together and living at light speed.
Matter based on what we know. But on top of that, what about wormholes, black
Wormholes
holes?
don't exist in the way you're thinking. Like, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying the idea that we can travel through wormholes is such fantasy.
Okay, but how many things do we call fantasy or science fiction that 20 years later is reality? I mean, or like we don't even know how many dimensions there are. I just think there's so much more that we assume that we don't know yet.
I'm not saying I disagree with dimensions.
So they can easily travel through dimensions. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that anything. This is happening exactly how you want it to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, this is perfect. Now, I will say we're using the definition alien life to refer to what I think most of us commonly refer to as alien life.
Are you about to go spiritual?
I was just going to say, you could easily make the argument that we believe spiritually that there are non-terrestrial beings that do cross-dimensional lines to
Unseen
invade
Realm,
Earth.
Chuck Meisler says that all the aliens that are coming now are demons.
Chuck Meisler?
He's the guy that's kind of like the Unseen Realm guy. Was it Dan Meisler? Chuck?
Dr. Heiser?
No. It's Chuck Meisler. He's the Daniel Prophecy guy.
Yeah, that's not the Unseen Realm guy, though.
But they're similar.
Yeah. So I don't care what he says.
I got really lost there.
Okay.
All right. Would you
all
like
right.
some water? Did you?
So aliens don't exist.
By the way, I
don't
saw my favorite moment of the last month. Possibly could have been when I saw Blink-182 in concert, and Tom DeLonge, who literally started To the Stars and has met with secret government officials about UFOs and aliens for years.
What?
Yes. Wrote books on it and has a song called Aliens Exist. And he said, I just have an announcement. Aliens Exist. Went straight into my favorite punk rock song. And it was amazing. He missed
That's
all of it.
pretty cool.
It was an amazing moment.
I'm sure it was
okay.
pretty great.
So anyways, let's move on. Lydia, your top 5. Are you leaving? Okay.
Yeah, she's going to leave. Yeah, you
I was
don't
going
have
to say
stay.
everybody
You don't have
clap
to
for
stay here.
Alana, but nobody's in the room. Okay. Alana, thank you.
Thank you.
Lydia, I'm just going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
You love that. What?
Oh, good.
Well, I'm just going to ask her. I mean, we still got some questions, but what is your, I don't know, like you've been behind there for 4 years. I know sometimes you're having to work on stuff while you listen, but you listen.
I do.
Well, what are some, I don't know, do you have any favorite episodes, moments that have stood out to you? What have you enjoyed about the journey? You know, whatever you want to do with all that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like my recent favorite episodes, I don't know if you're gonna like me saying this, was like the hot topics or hot takes, because it was just funny. And it was.
I like those.
interesting.
I don't think
They're
you.
funny.
I don't think you like those.
I like them.
Do you?
Fun. Yes.
Okay.
Really?
I
Well,
do.
they did the
They're
first
just
one they did.
corny,
You weren't there.
funny, but I like that.
I
enjoy
thought
it.
those were interesting. I feel like even like I don't know. There's so many ones, maybe like 2 years ago that like stood out to me from like I don't know that I would take away, but I can't like picture the exact episode.
Yeah.
You know?
4 years, 200 episodes is a lot.
Is there
That's a
anything?
lot.
Okay, this is another big question. I'm putting you on the spot, but just so you know,
Okay.
is there anything? Because one of the things for us, I think we both talked about, even though we're the ones having the conversation, and it's really cool when we have other people join the conversation, is that our mindsets are constantly changed and challenged at this table. One of the goals is to keep ideas open on the table, challenge thinking, raise the level of our thinking, challenge assumptions, nuance. Are there any ways of thinking or ideas or things you had that you feel like even just through our conversations over the years have challenged or changed or nuanced or provoked?
Actually, it's funny. There was a recent episode you guys did that I wrote down something and I was like, this is
Save those. Don't eat them.
Okay.
no, so I
Or
guess
you
it
can-
wasn't like a while ago, but something you were talking about. It was the one with Kevin and you
And Deanna?
Yes, you guys were talking about like something you were like recently were talking like just thinking about being obsessive and all in about something. Like if you're committed to something, like instead of just thinking I want to do this one day, or I have this one dream and like maybe I'll do that, but then like you just never actually go all in for it. Like what does it look like to be all in for something? I don't know if that makes sense if I'm like trying to gather my thoughts on what I mean by that. But like I feel like right now, like the season that I'm in, when I like even thinking about the beginning of the podcast and what I was doing, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just like figuring out what I wanted to do in ministry. But I like a lot of the things that I did were like, this is a need that needs to be met, and I didn't care if I like knew what to do or like I just kind of figured it out and helped like literally the whole entire creative team. Like they have been the people that have trained me and taught me like through all of this. So I feel like over the years, looking back at like the beginning of the podcast, I was just like, I'm just here. I'm just gonna help serve. This is a cool thing that our church gets to do, is to have a podcast and have different guest speakers speaking about their testimonies and just different opinions and things that you guys get to talk about. And I was just like listening, being like, you know, this is what I'm doing on my Wednesday. But like over the years, I feel like there's so many little moments of like ministry that you guys would talk about, of just being someone having like a servant heart of just, I'm just going to be able to serve, and like God's going to guide those steps along the way. And I feel like right now it's kind of crazy because I'm looking back and I'm like, now I feel like I'm more focused on what I want. And like,
Well,
I stepped into a lot of different things, like leading worship, I was just I just want to sing and see what happens. But now it's like something I love to get to do. Even like social media and creating videos and motion backgrounds, like stuff like that. I never thought that I would ever do that. But like, I don't know, I feel like over the years, just hearing different people in ministry that have led me, it's like they have taught me so many lessons of just sticking to something or just figuring it out and just seeing where God takes you. So I feel like right now I'm like, I have dreams that I've like placed inside my heart, but I've never like taken that step of I'm going to go all in. I'm actually going to step in and see what God's going to do in that. I don't know if that makes sense if I
love
ramble
that.
a little bit.
What do you feel like there's anything, not to get too personal on hot ones, but do you feel like there's anything personal or internally that has kept you from being all in?
I do like remember there are episodes you guys talked about personalities, like being an introvert or an extrovert, that like stood out to me because I was like, I don't know, I feel like I have this mindset that being an introvert, you can't do all this. You can't like, you're not loud, so then you're not going to be able to do this. So it's like, there are a few episodes that you guys talked about that, and I was like, I never thought about someone thinking in that kind of way. Like, it's just, that's the way God wired you. So why are you like staying stuck in that and thinking that you can't, but God can't use you in a certain way because of this kind of personality trait that you have.
Almost like you feel like at times like being introverted has to be equated with timidity. When really you can be bold. Because we've had a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
It's been so cool just to, even just watch your journey over the years. And you used to not speak.
Yeah, I kind of still don't sometimes.
But the boldness you lead with now is just insane.
Yeah.
And what you do is insane. What area, if you were going to give yourself permission to be obsessive in the season, what would it be?
Oh, that's scary to think about. I don't know. I'm so like I don't like to say something and like I'm very closed off to where I'm like, I rather like step into something and learn something without people seeing me like learning, and just like one day when I'm like actually confident in doing it, then I'll share it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which might be a bad trait. I don't know.
No, I don't think it is. Sometimes it's wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To,
Sometimes we should learn from Joseph, who told all his dreams a little bit prematurely and blurted them out. And
which you just try to get her to do.
That
by
is
the
true.
way, I just want to say you're
Well, no,
good at like. So, would you like to share any of your deepest and darkest secrets for everybody?
Well, I didn't know where she was at in the journey. Because sometimes you're at a place where it can also be powerful to make a public declaration, But
you did.
we're not
You
there
said
yet.
that she was dating someone.
Yeah, you did do that. You did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the point that you made, which is that you just served. Here's the thing: making yourself available is the quickest way to discovering your purpose. And I think a lot of people don't see it that way. They're waiting for, the perfect, opportunity. They're waiting for something just that's like heaven to open up and God to tell them, do this, be this, way, or do something with your life. And it never worked like that for me. And I always tell people, I think just being available and saying, okay, I'll serve however is needed.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done. But to me, that's how you discover what you're gifted at. That's how you discover what you feel called to do, is by eliminating all of the things that you don't love, but you did faithful in one season. And so, I've done so many different things over the years in church ministry, but it wasn't until I did all of those things that I started to fine tune on, what is my particular calling? How did God wire me? And so I think that's kind of the journey that you've been on, what I hear you saying. And I think you started with the right attitude, and what's coming about because of that is direction. You're getting better, you're growing in skill, you're learning skills that can help you in life in a variety of different ways, whether it's a church ministry or other things. You felt prompted to go to school online to further finding areas, where's my strengths, where's my weaknesses, where do I need to focus on those things, and you're in that process of doing that. And so I think all of that came, and it can be all traced back to a willingness to just be available. I'll be an intern. I'll come. What do you need? What do you need me to do? You got to do this? Nope. I'll learn.
Yeah.
And just having that kind of attitude. I don't know. I'll learn. And one of the cool things that you didn't say that you have really done over the last, I would say, year probably, or 2 years, year and a half, is grow in your ability to lead, not just in worship on a platform, but helping with youth. And so Lydia has really taken the helm of trying to create worship for youth on Sunday nights and bringing up young people and helping develop them as you're developing, learning to lead in all the aspects needed. And a lot of people think, oh, worship leading, I can sing a song. I'll just get up there and do that. No, that's the smallest and I'd say probably the easiest part if you have a gift in singing.
Yeah.
As hard as it is still.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's been fun to watch you that. But that to me is what I heard you say that I just thought was so impactful that could help other people if they're like, I don't know where to go and where to begin. I don't know what I'm called to do. I don't know what I'm glad you all have one, but I don't have one.
Yeah.
Why don't you start serving?
Yeah.
Make yourself available if you're not. And if you serve in an area and go, it's okay. I don't know if it's this. Well, then maybe try a different area. We'd be happy to, try to help you find something to narrow that down.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just I feel like that's just like a good mindset to have no matter what. Like even when you're in a 10 years from now, like always have that mindset of I'm available. Like wherever there's a need, like just ask God, okay, show me the need and I'll do whatever it is. Like always having a servant leader heart. Like that's so important for years and years, like forever along the line, like as you live your life.
I love. Do you know? Have you heard of Bill Wilson?
Bill Wilson?
Famous. He got famous. I mean, in the '90s, was famous in ministry for starting bus ministry. This is like when bus ministry was big.
Okay.
And so he wrote books. I mean, he was busing over like he created something called Sidewalk Sunday in New York, where he would bus tens of thousands of kids to church every week from the most dangerous projects, been shot multiple times, fearless, crazy kind of like just fearless, like kind of a character, like you never know what he's going to say next. I heard him speak at a conference one time. This is back when things were very churchy, and everybody wanted to know, how did you receive your calling? They would always ask that. How did you receive your calling? And he was on this news show or this like Christian television show one time, and they asked, and they said, when did you know God had called you to start this? And he goes, oh, I didn't. And they go, oh, well, what do you mean? He goes, oh, I never heard God call me. And that might be normal now.
Yep.
Then that was almost like heresy. They're like, well, what do you mean? They cut to like a commercial break. And like, what do you mean by that? He goes, I never heard a call. I just saw a need.
Yeah.
I saw kids starving for hope. And so I just decided if I don't jump in, who will?
Yeah.
And, that's kind of a big example. But I love what you said, whether it's the micro or the macro, be available, find a need, serve it. And then on an employment standpoint, just super practical, everybody's probably heard this business adage, but when you do more than what you're paid to do, eventually you'll get paid more for what you do. And wherever you're at, I think as long as you just decide, I'm going to endeavor to add even more value, in biblical language, is a second mile spirit. I'm not going to just go 1 mile. I'm going to go 2 miles. This may sound weird. There's been so many moments because we've had conversations offline that I've been so proud of you, like watching your journey. It's just been insane to watch. But then there's little small moments that inspire me that you probably wouldn't think anything of. But the reason we're doing this now is because you thought of this. And you were like, you started like sitting a couple weeks ago. You're like brainstorming, like, what should we do for the 200th episode? And I love that because even though I've known this for a long time, it was really cool because I'm like, oh, that's proof. This isn't something you're like, oh, I'm just going to push buttons. This is something you've taken ownership of.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a powerful thing in each area of your life where you're like, oh, this isn't just like a task I'm completing. This is something I'm taking ownership of. And I actually think that's when you start feeling value from all the things that you're doing and you grow. And
you also start adding value.
Yes.
Yeah.
You add value when you have that attitude. When you have ownership and you start making things better. So, no, this is fun. So thank you for joining us for the 200th episode. That's hard to believe. I do think that, I think we don't think about 200 episodes when you start something. No. I don't think you ever think about it. You don't think about, well, how long are we going to do this for? Let's do it for 2 years. Let's do this. We just started doing them and having conversations, and there's always probably no shortage of things to talk about. There's always things to do, but I do think sometimes, It speaks to the power of consistency. It doesn't always have to be great every time, but
Yeah.
just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just show up. Just show
Yeah.
up. That's what we do. We show up. We get a microphone. Some are received well. Some of them flop. We don't care.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it adds value to us sitting around here having a conversation. It's made us better. It's
Yes.
made us, think deeper. It's made us more. I would say it's made us more empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to hear different perspectives, having different people. It challenges us to think at a different level.
Yeah.
I get challenged all the time on this conversation. We have conversations about things
Yeah.
to kind of think deeply about stuff, and so it's
Yeah.
there's stuff that's probably changed my mind from sitting around this table. So
Yeah.
there's value to this.
Yep.
And so if for anybody that I think has joined us for the journey and participated, thank you so much for being a part of it. We hope it's kind of encouraged you, it's inspired you, it's challenged you, it's made you mad. All those things are great.
Yes.
That's how we grow. If we never stretch, we don't grow. And so this has been such a fun, Where does it go from here? Who knows?
Yeah.
Not that we never showed up with any intent to reach some goal or milestone or how
Yeah.
many viewers of this. We just thought we're going to have conversations. If people want to listen in, great. And that's what we'll keep doing. So
I love that.
200 episodes.
Thank you for creating a space where we can always have these conversations.
Yeah.
It's been so good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's been times we've talked offline, like, does anybody listen? And then you'll hear, like, just so, you have the coolest conversations that week from some people that don't even go to our church that just listen on a regular basis. And the stories we hear are cool. So we'll just make this ask on this 200th episode that if these conversations are meaningful to you, share them around. Number two, if you're anything like me, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, whenever I hear somebody say, subscribe, leave a review, it becomes white noise, and my ears just tune out. But do us a 200th birthday favor.
Yeah.
Leave a review. Give us 5 stars. I would say you have the option of 1 through 5. I'm just going to say you don't.
Just
Do
choose
5 stars. and show Lydia some love.
Yeah.
We're so excited. Oh, but I just realized, and you're so sweet, you didn't correct me, but I was wrong. This is not your first time on the podcast. You were on the Gen Z podcast last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
so this is
Yeah.
it's not your debut.
Who wasn't? Yeah, I was trying to think who was on there.
I wasn't on there.
Chloe,
Chloe.
Hunter,
Yeah.
you,
Mm-hmm.
PZ. Yeah.
Well, thank
Yep.
you for all the hard work you do.
Yeah.
You don't just, it takes time. It takes time. She has to pull all these down from all the camera stuff. She's got to edit them.
help now from Maria. I want to give her a shout out. She helps make the audio sound amazing.
Oh, thank you, Maria,
So,
for doing that. So it's really a team effort. It's not just,
Yeah.
we just sit down here, but it's a team effort and always getting stuff set up and being ready and dialing in cameras and checking audio levels and sitting back in the back and while we're over here gabbing it up.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, though, I want to give just a plug. This fall is going to be an exciting fall. Plan on having some really special guests. We've been talking a while about having some people on, having some conversations. Number one, just shameless plug with the book coming out around confidence, but around entrepreneurship, around creativity, or around risk taking. And we've been talking for a while about some people that we really want to have on. And so this fall, we plan on making that happen. So it's going to be a really exciting time to tune in and be part of the conversations. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Next week's topic is going to be really fun. All right. Until next time, we will see you next week. And you'll hear it in the outro, but send us an email. Let us know any other conversations you think would be meaningful to discuss. And until next week, we will see you then.
Hey guys, it's Russ. Thanks so much for listening. We really believe if we can get around tables instead of behind screens, if we can talk to each other instead of at each other, we can make the world better. To help us do that, here are a few things you can do to help. First, if you haven't yet, leave a review on Apple or Spotify and hit subscribe on YouTube. This helps more than you know. Also, if you have been impacted by the community out of which this podcast comes, that's X-Church. Maybe you're local or you've been touched by the messages and impact across the country, even the world, I want to encourage you to support this work. A powerful life principle is to invest in the people and places that invest in you. And so I want to invite you to do that right now by going to thex.church/give. You can give a one-time small gift, a sacrificial gift, or even become a recurring partner. Together, let's keep elevating the conversation, thinking higher, loving deeper, and making the world better. Cheers.